Sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
Parties, of course, meeting for the first time in court today. It was about a 90-minute hearing.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. I'm just going to tell you, you're going to have to wait and see. It's coming up soon.
Listen to me, Blake Lively. Tap out. Tap out. Call Uncle right now. Please take my advice. Please just tap out. Be done. Be done with this. Ref, please call Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds out. Just call this out. Because I'm telling you, they are not going to win this.
The truth should be out there. What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth? This isn't going to end well for you, Blake. Sorry.
Welcome back to Tea Time with Tina. So did you ever watch a courtroom drama so intense you're torn between biting your nails and grabbing extra popcorn? That's what's happening right now with Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. They've turned Hollywood's gossip mill into a full-blown legal extravaganza, where $250 million and $400 million lawsuits are flying around faster than you can say blockbuster.
Director Justin Baldoni is now suing his former co-star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, seeking more than $400 million in damages, accusing them of defamation and extortion.
One moment, Lively was America's sweetheart. The next, she's knee-deep in a lawsuit so massive it could finance a lunar mission. Meanwhile, Baldoni, who many know as the nice guy with a big heart, emerges from the courtroom with a grin that says, "I told you so." If you've been keeping tabs, you know each new development hits like a plot twist in a TV finale. Surprising, dramatic, and ever so slightly comedic, if you're into dark humor. But how did a pair of red carpet regulars wind up in a fight that makes Godzilla vs. Kong look tame? And more importantly, how in the world did Baldoni score such a big courtroom win, leaving Lively's team looking like they just got sucker punched?
It's going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. There's a number of different defendants here. Stephanie Jones will be all over this complaint. That is the PR agent who was supposed to be working for Justin Baldoni. Leslie Sloan, who's another PR agent who will be part of this lawsuit. That was Blake Lively's. Blake Lively will be sued, and we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also. Ryan Reynolds, for sure.
Grab a seat, settle in, and get ready for some jaw-dropping details, because this is the kind of Hollywood drama you usually only see on the silver screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe because, let's face it, I'm nothing without your support. Now back to the tea. In the land of glitz and glam, scandal has a way of creeping in like an unexpected houseguest, but rarely does it burst through the door waving a $250 million lawsuit. That's exactly how Lively kick-started this saga, accusing Baldoni of misconduct so severe it justified a price tag that could buy multiple private islands. Fans initially rallied behind her. After all, she's been Hollywood's golden girl for years, charming audiences with her humor and style. Who would dare doubt her word? Then Baldoni fired back with a countersuit for $400 million, claiming he was the victim of extortion and defamation.
It's the one case we're going to put every single text message, every single document, everything on a website for everyone in the public to read, come to their own conclusions, and they can determine whether or not there was sexual harassment here, there was a smear campaign, or there was retaliation, because we have proof and receipts that absolutely and unequivocally show this is not true.
Let's just say that shut down any illusions of a quick hush-hush settlement. Overnight, social media timelines filled with people picking sides, some swearing. Lively must have had her reasons, others insisting Baldoni wouldn't just dream up a $400 million figure for giggles. The press pounced on every rumor, and suddenly, the entertainment world had its juiciest story since someone turned down an Oscar in the 70s.
Blake had spent the entire prior year trying to wrest control of this movie away from Justin Baldoni. It was his film. He was the director. He's the producer. He's the one who found the book and got the idea for it. And she was such a brat that she wanted to control every scene, wanted to see all the dailies, wanted to do her own cut and did her own cut of the movie. All this is very unusual for just an actress in the film, even if she's the lead. And that she's now tried to turn this whole thing into a PR victory for her to get past what appears to be the fact that she is an egotistical bully.
If you're wondering what triggered these massive accusations, you're not alone. The details remain murky. Something about business deals, alleged betrayals, and claims of character assassination. Yet both sides are sticking to their guns like they're in an old Western showdown. Word on the street was that it might all end in a private negotiation, but as it turns out, these two are more stubborn than cactus roots. They both wanted their day in court, and wow, did that court day deliver. Ever been to a high-stakes sports match where one side starts scoring over and over, and the other side looks like they forgot how to play? That's basically what happened in the courtroom. For 90 tension-filled minutes, the judge listened to arguments that sounded more dramatic than a soap opera. Lively's lawyers had an arsenal of points ready, but Baldoni's team calmly swatted them away like pesky flies. One by one, motions were decided in Baldoni's favor. Imagine being in Lively's shoes. You're used to the spotlight loving you, the cameras swooning for that perfect red carpet pose. Then you find yourself on the defensive, with each legal ruling turning the tide against you. By the time the session ended, the scoreboard was very much in Baldoni's favor. Meanwhile, Lively's attorneys looked like they'd just realized they were playing chess against a grandmaster. It was a humbling moment for Lively, whose team had banked on her star power to sway the judge or at least tilt public sympathy. But courts don't play favorites based on celebrity status. They're more into pesky little things called evidence and procedure. If Lively had assumed her Hollywood halo would carry her through, this hearing served as a stark wake-up call. If the hearing left Lively's team bruised, their next move was a Hail Mary pass, a request for a gag order.
Judge you before they give you a chance, and we're going to change that. Thank you.
This person is not an honest broker. I believe her less than ever. I actually disbelieve her fully now. And they should not be gagged. I will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have because the truth should be out there. What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth?
They wanted to muzzle Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, who'd been vocal in interviews and statements. Apparently, he was sharing juicy tidbits that painted Lively in a not-so-flattering light.
Blake Lively's lawyer does not like Brian Friedman and says he's being way too chatty about this case to the public, giving them little wiggle room to respond in the court of the public opinion.
My experience with Blake Lively, we weren't allowed to talk to her on the set. We weren't allowed to ask for an autograph. We were, instructed, this way or that. We were treated like this. I mean, and these things aren't coming because we're doing an investigation. These are completely organic. These are based on people's real life experiences.
And this thing is getting even more bizarre.
What is happening?
Cue the dramatic music as her lawyers argued that Friedman's media presence was damaging their client's reputation beyond repair. Here's the kicker. Lively's side had been talking to the media plenty too.
The only reason this whole thing got started before she filed the lawsuit, she just went to the California Human Rights Office, is because she clearly cooperated with the New York Times to leak the whole thing. Indeed, that's, Brian argues, the reason she went and filed the complaint with the Human Rights Division.
So when the judge flat out denied the request, it was a cringeworthy moment.
Judge chose to not impose the gag order on Justin Baldoni's attorney Brian Friedman today, but did threaten to move up the trial if the media press war continued.
It's like calling someone out for cheating at poker only to have the dealer point out you've been slipping aces up your sleeve, too. Not a good look. You could practically feel the embarrassment radiating off Lively's attorneys. Suddenly, Baldoni's camp seemed even more unstoppable. Every time Lively tried a legal tactic, it boomeranged. The public, tuning in from Instagram feeds and entertainment gossip channels, saw Baldoni's lawyer come out smelling like roses, free to continue speaking his mind. Meanwhile, Lively's team was left scrambling for their next strategy before the court of public opinion turned on them for good. With the gag order attempt failing spectacularly, Lively's next move was to try and dictate who could question her during depositions.
Counsel for Miss Lively has made it clear that Miss Lively does not want Mr. Friedman to be the attorney who takes her deposition. We are unaware of any situation that would warrant the deposed party to have a choice in which attorney take her deposition. Parties to litigation simply do not have the right to decide which of the other opponent's attorney may or may not take their deposition or perform any other aspects of the opposing party's case. And essentially, the judge agreed and told her lawyer that she does not get to choose who deposes her.
Let's face it, depositions are nerve-wracking under the best circumstances. You're under oath, lawyers are firing tricky questions at you, and the whole thing can easily end up looking like an interrogation scene from a crime thriller. So it's no surprise Lively wanted to steer clear of Baldoni's lawyer. His cross-examination style had already left them reeling in court. But the judge, perhaps tired of these attempts to tip the scales, bluntly said, nope. Lively would have to face any interrogator appointed by the court, including Friedman, who was clearly itching to get her under oath. Cue the panic. Depositions can unearth embarrassing personal details, unsavory emails, or contradictory statements that blow holes in a carefully crafted public narrative. For Lively, losing control of that process must have felt like stepping onto thin ice, not knowing if you'll fall through. Baldoni, on the other hand, had all the reason in the world to be confident. His lawyer had just proven he wasn't afraid to ask tough questions or publicize the results. If you thought the battle was confined to legal briefs and courthouse corridors, you haven't been keeping up. Baldoni launched a dedicated website that showcased case documents, messages, and video clips relevant to the lawsuit.
Baldoni's team launched a new website over the weekend, featuring an amended legal complaint and a 168-page timeline of events, including newly released text messages allegedly sent between the embattled stars of It Ends With Us, as well as Lively's husband, actor Ryan Reynolds.
In a world where people Google everything from cookie recipes to how to tie a tie, this was a stroke of PR genius. Why rely on rumor when you can give the public the receipts directly? Lively's team cried foul, claiming Baldoni was manipulating public perception by releasing only the evidence he wanted people to see. But Friedman countered that Lively had first gone to the New York Times with damaging allegations, giving Baldoni no time to respond before the story hit. Essentially, he reminded everyone that they were just evening the scoreboard. Hollywood is a fickle beast. 1 minute, fans worship the ground you walk on. The next, they're turning your name into a trending hashtag alongside words like downfall or canceled. Blake Lively learned this lesson the hard way. With each defeat in court, her flawless image got a new dent. Online communities once full of adoration were now questioning her motives. Some stuck by her. Loyalty dies hard, but plenty moved to the sidelines, uncertain if she was in the right. Justin Baldoni, known for heartfelt roles and philanthropic efforts, found his stock soaring. Suddenly, the media was framing him as the determined underdog who refused to be bullied, going toe-to-toe with someone many believed was a Hollywood heavyweight. With every public statement, every released legal brief, and every court win, Baldoni's narrative of just a decent guy defending himself gained traction. It's borderline surreal. Lively, once the undisputed media darling, now finds herself defending not just her court case, but her entire public persona. The once supportive headlines are replaced by speculation about whether she's lost control, both legally and in the court of public opinion. As if the drama weren't thick enough, let's talk about money. Big money. The kind that makes even Hollywood A-listers break out in a cold sweat. Lively stands to lose up to $400 million if the cards play in Baldoni's favor. That's more than she and her husband Ryan Reynolds can comfortably handle without risking a major lifestyle downgrade. No more private jets, no more sprawling estates, and definitely no more multi-million-dollar business ventures without blinking. Rumors abound that Reynolds is quietly urging Lively to find a settlement, terrified that the alternative could drain their coffers. He's got his own empire, movies, a soccer team deal, and a witty social media presence. But a $400 million bill isn't something you just shrug off, even in Tinseltown. It could mean the difference between continuing their well-curated Hollywood life and facing a financial reset that leaves them rethinking every luxury purchase. While Reynolds hasn't publicly taken a stand, he's too savvy for that, you can bet he's not thrilled. Financial ruin isn't exactly great for brand image, especially for an actor known for comedic roles and cheeky advertisements. And the question remains, if this legal storm keeps gathering strength, how much longer until Lively either cuts a deal or faces the risk of total meltdown? As if the stakes weren't high enough, the judge recently merged both lawsuits into one monster case. We're talking about a trial so epic, you might expect the red carpet to be rolled out at the courthouse. The media is already salivating at the prospect of daily headlines, while fans and critics stand ready with their phones to post every update on social platforms. The merged lawsuits mean there's no escaping the final verdict. The entire fiasco, from Lively's initial lawsuit to Baldoni's countersuit to every cringe-inducing detail in between, will be laid bare before a single judge, a single jury, and the entire world. If Lively Lively loses, it's not just a chunk of her net worth on the line, but her entire public legacy. If Baldoni triumphs, he could walk away with an astonishing windfall, plus a massively enhanced reputation as the Hollywood guy who dared to stand up for himself and won. Of course, there's always the chance of an out-of-court settlement, but considering how dug in both parties are, it seems unlikely they'll shake hands anytime soon. They've come this far, aired so much dirty laundry, and fought tooth and nail. At this point, it's a test of pride and principle, which is sometimes a more compelling motivator than money. So, where does this wild saga leave us? Justin Baldoni has snagged a triumphant court ruling, boosted his public image, and refused to be silenced. Blake Lively, once practically royalty in Hollywood, faces a storm that could wreck her finances, tarnish her name, and shake up her personal life, potentially dragging Ryan Reynolds along for the ride. It's a cautionary tale for celebrities everywhere. Never underestimate how quickly fortunes can flip when legal drama spills over into the public domain. The countdown is on for that court date, and the suspense might just outdo any Hollywood thriller. Will Lively make a last-minute play to settle? Can Baldoni keep his winning streak alive all the way to trial? Will Ryan Reynolds swoop in to broker peace or crack a joke so perfect it ends the entire feud? Stay tuned, because this story is the gift that keeps on giving. And if you thought your personal dramas were complicated, just remember there's always a Hollywood star out there with a lawsuit, a website, and a ticking legal clock set to explode. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the next twist might just outshine everything we've seen so far. Drop your opinions in the comments. We would love to hear what you think about this developing case. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on the latest news for your favorite celeb tea. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay informed. Only on Tea Time with Tina.